It was a humid summer afternoon at the U.S Mexico Border Defense HQ, a remote outpost nestled in the arid desert. Sergeant Mike Razor Thompson, a battle-hardened soldier, had just returned from a mission in the mountains. His military career had been full of operations in foreign lands, but now he was stationed at a quiet yet crucial location, the U.S. border. The base was a fortress, surrounded by miles of harsh terrain and dotted with watchtowers. The day seemed ordinary until the sound of roaring engines shattered the monotony. A group of bikers, leather-clad and brash, rolled up to the base's entrance. Their leader, a bulky man with a grizzled beard and a skull tattoo on his neck, revved his engine arrogantly. They weren't local. Everyone in the desert knew that. Mike had been stationed here long enough to understand that the area was under the watchful eyes of both the military and law enforcement, and people didn't just ride in without a reason. "What the hell are they doing here?" Mike muttered under his breath as he observed them from the base's surveillance cameras. His instincts, sharp as ever, told him this wasn't a random stop. The bikers were loud, brash, and intent on causing trouble. Their leader, a man named Jax, demanded entrance, claiming they were just passing through. But Mike wasn't buying it. "Keep an eye on them, just in case," Mike said to his team. He suited up, his camo fatigues blending perfectly with the dry desert landscape. He wasn't one to back down from confrontation, especially when it came to ensuring the safety of the border. When he stepped out, the bikers' leader, Jax, shot him a sneer. "What's the military doing here in the middle of nowhere, huh?" he taunted, his crew laughing behind him. The rest of the bikers revved their engines, their taunts growing louder. Mike stood his ground, hands in his pockets, not reacting to the noise. He could sense something brewing, something off. These weren't just unruly riders. They were looking for trouble. Jax took a step closer, his face growing dark. "You think you can stop us, soldier?" The tension thickened like a storm cloud. Mike had been through worse, far worse. A simple war of words would never back him down. But these men weren't looking for a fight, they were looking for a spectacle, to provoke and escalate. With lightning speed, Mike grabbed the nearest radio. "All units, stand by," he said calmly, his voice betraying no hint of the brewing storm. In an instant, the gates to the base slammed shut, and security cameras zoomed in on the bikers, capturing every angle of their confrontation. Jax didn't flinch. "You think we care about cameras or gates?" he sneered. But Mike had a reputation. He'd been in situations where survival meant having a plan far beyond what anyone expected. He took a slow, deliberate step forward, locking eyes with Jax. "I've dealt with worse than you, buddy. You should be careful who you mess with." Jax snorted, reaching for his belt. The air seemed to freeze for a split second, but Mike didn't hesitate. With practiced precision, he moved first. Before Jax could pull his weapon, Mike had disarmed him, slamming the biker's hand to the ground with a twist that left Jax wincing in pain. In a blink, Mike had Jax pinned against the dirt, the pressure of his weight and the authority of his training making it clear this wasn't a game. The rest of the bikers hesitated, watching in stunned silence. No one expected the soldier to react with such controlled violence. Mike leaned in close, his voice low and dangerous. "You're not getting through. Turn around or I'll show you just how far I'll go to make sure this border stays safe." Jax, pride bruised, struggled for a moment, but realized the situation wasn't going his way. His gang, seeing their leader on the ground, backed off. Jax's eyes burned with fury, but he nodded, signaling his crew to retreat. The bikers roared their engines and slowly turned, leaving the base in the rearview mirror. As they disappeared into the heat haze of the desert, Mike stood tall, watching them fade away. He had done his job and reminded the world that a soldier wasn't just a title, it was a warning. Back at the HQ, his team relaxed, a few of them exchanging looks of relief. Mike's cool-headed response had kept the situation from spiraling into chaos. But he knew this wasn't over. There was always something lurking at the edge of the desert. It always was. And that's exactly how he liked it. He returned to his post, knowing that this encounter would be one story to add to his long list of lessons learned on the edge of the battlefield.